Oh my God! Welcome to the SideKick Power Hour. This is episode 2. The SideKick Power Hour is where we talk about all things from the SideKick Productions universe. SideKick Productions, of course, created by the one and only Joshua R. Pangborn. There he is right there.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, my name is
Monday.
That is Josh. I keep forgetting how we do that. We are back. We have been rewatching every episode of Skeleton Crew, starting with season 1, episode 101 last week. Tonight we're back with episode 102 from season 1. Of course, we had Gina on last week, who plays Ellen on the show. And tonight we've got some other special guests as we count down to season 5 of Skeleton Crew. Josh, tell us what we're in store for tonight.
Well, this week we decided to bring on some very special guests who I have worked with for many years now, actually. We really want to support other creators and other people who are making amazing pieces of art. And so we decided to show you introduce you all to an amazing team at Oblivion Films and Oblivion Television. And we're going to see a little bit of what work that they've done, a short film that they've done, and a trailer for a web series that they've just started.
Nice. Okay, great. Well, with that being said, that's not what we're going to do first. Tonight, of course, our first order of business is to get some of our folks from the Skeleton Crew into the show. And we're going to start off, of course, with Ashley Monique Menard.
Hey, everybody.
Yep. And here he is, Stuart Keycheck.
Hey, y'all.
Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna go into this little mode so we can see everybody there. Okay, great. So now that we're back, let's talk a little bit more about kind of where we are in the show. Josh, give us a little bit of an idea of what we're in store for with this episode tonight.
Sure. Well, episode 1, as we talked about last week, episode 1 was really a 30-minute condensed version of a 90-minute play that I wrote. And then episode 2 is the very first steps into a world building that has reached much wider than I think any of us expected at the time. But episode 2 is our first steps into the world of the Skeleton Crew outside of the home of Anthony and Hunter.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, Ashley and Stuart, we are going to get into the show soon. Hang tight. Let's get Jose and Ibai in here right now to the show, all the way from, I think, across town from where you are. Here we have Ibai, and then here's Jose.
Hello.
Hey, Jose, welcome.
Thank you.
Hi. Okay, guys. Well, so Jose and Ibai, can you explain a little bit about Oblivion Films and what brought Josh into your orbit?
Well, should I start or Jose?
You can start.
Well, we basically write and create our own projects, and then we try to collaborate with other artists, producing whatever they wanna do. And we also do a few commercial but our main focus is basically fiction.
Great. And Jose, how did you find Josh?
Through backstage. I was auditioning well, we cannot really talk much about that project, but we were auditioning a very secretive project. And he impressed me in his audition because he got naked.
Not naked, not fully naked. No. A little bit naked.
Almost fully naked. And I was like, oh, amazing. He's the one.
Well, with that set up, I think we should just get right into watching this first short. Now, this is not your most current project, but this is the first project that you worked on with Josh, called La Colombiana, correct?
And it's actually the first one
Okay. We are going to pull it up on the screen, and we're going to watch this one full screen tonight, folks. So hang tight.
madre decía que había nacido maldita, mitad hombre, mitad mujer. Una sombra caída del cielo, al sótano del placer.
Prendes rápido, puta. No comiste bien.
¿Y ahora qué hacemos con esto?
Great work, guys. That's super scary. It's like the sexy scary that so many of the Demon Doctor and Skeleton Crew fans love so much. So a real treat for everybody to see that. Comment below if you have never seen that before, if this is your first time watching it. Let's go ahead and throw up the Oblivion Films there. If you want to see more Jose and Ibai's work, you can catch it right there. Great work.
Thank you.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while, actually. Like, it was nice to see it again.
Yeah, in a long while.
Yeah. So
I didn't remember we ate you.
This was my very first professional acting experience ever. So
This
I
was
was
my first short film, like my first fiction short film that I direct, actually. Like, it's my first work.
And they have set the and they have set the tone for the rest of our careers.
now, what were the themes that you were exploring in this short, Jose?
I think it's a matter of innocence, lost innocence, because we were both like fresh out of the boat in New York, and I guess it's pretty much discovering sexuality and freedom.
We were younger as well. Like, this was like 7 years ago, I think, or maybe 6.
2014, I think.
So probably, yeah,
I mean-
like 6 years.
Yeah, I don't think Josh's character would have been in the sequel. Yeah, that
He's a sausage.
We are, so.
sausage. Now let's do a dramatic 180 and tell us about Shaka and the dogs and what inspired this piece.
Well, Chaka and the dog was inspired by our dog. It's basically we wanted to have a not a memory, but like a video diary of our dog, and I guess we achieved that because now we have a whole season of Chuck and the dogs.
Oh wow, that's great. And so, Ibai, did you guys write this show with Josh and Ashley in mind?
So I mean, I don't remember. I remember that when we were writing probably like episode 2, 3, like I think Joshua was already in our head, because it's funny because we worked with him before, but he never had any dialogue in our film. Like as you can see it, like in this one, like he doesn't talk. So it was like something new for us, and I think it works great. Like I couldn't be more happy about it.
Yes.
And actually, she came like later. Like she was not our first option, but I mean, it was great to work with her, and I love like her voice.
Her voice is great.
To be honest, when we started, I wanted to be the voice of Chaka because I always do their voices, our dog's voices. So in my head, I knew how she sounded, but then when we met Ashley and she did the first lines, she sounded just exactly how Chaka sounded in my head. So it just was like, so now she will be forever Chaka in my head.
Oh, well, so one of the things that's interesting about the show is that you made the choice not to have any of the humans talk at all. What was that about? Why did you decide to do that?
Well, that's because the point of view is like them, right? It's their point of view, like it's their perspective of the world. So just by the way, well, Chaka was a very special dog, so she could actually understand everything I would say to her. But most dogs, I figured that only really get like 3 or 5 of my either English or Spanish words. So I guess everything else they just hear baba booby baba 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 booby baba baba booby.
So in that case, what were some of the challenges of working with dogs?
Less than working with humans, actually.
Why is that?
Because you only have to give them treats and give them very exact directions. But they get tired very often. That's the only thing. You have to stop, like you cannot film a whole 12 hours as you try to do with humans.
Also, I know that they are not trained dogs, so we need to take advantage of the real moment. Like when they are in the couch, they are actually like maybe sleeping in the couch, and we are just shooting that moment. So we are taking advantage of the real moment of their lives.
Shaka's a rescue dog, right?
What?
Shaka was a rescue dog, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, with that, let's get right into this trailer. This is the trailer for Shaka and the dogs. If you're watching at home, take a moment real quick and just bump up your volume a little bit or put your earbuds in. This one, when I transferred it over, was not coming through as loud as I'd like it to, so it might be a little low.
From the studio that brings you those really cool movies.
Disney.
No.
Netflix?
No. These guys. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess named Shaka. She was loved by everyone in the land. Her life was filled with adventure and fun. Everything was perfect until the day Blue moved in. Every little girl wants a dog, but not Shaka. Now she must learn how to share her life with that furball and all its fluffy friends. And those not so fluffy. Join the journey, filled with action, adventure, and a bunch of other stuff. This is the life of Shaka.
And Blue.
And Shaka.
But I'm in it too.
But really, it's just about Shaka.
And Blue.
Okay, and Blue too.
It's so cute. I really can't wait to see the whole thing. And of course, if you're listening out there, you could not help but hear Joshua R. Pangborn's voice as Blue. And of course, Ashley Monique Menard as Shaka. Here she is.
It's just so cute.
It really is.
It's so cute.
You're gonna be my puppy forever.
Deal.
Actually, what was your favorite part about voicing a dog?
That I've wanted to be a voice of something since I was a kid, since Disney. Like, that's been a career goal, and I can say I did it. And for the cutest dog, Chaka is just so cute.
Absolutely.
I won big. I won the lottery, and that, like, I really did. I got super lucky. Thank you.
Now this show is live on YouTube now. Is that correct?
Yes. And third episode is coming the next Monday in a week.
Gotcha. Now, Josh, you and I talked about this a little bit earlier in the week, but from episode 2, you had a comment, I guess, Jose and Ibai, that someone had made on the YouTube channel on episode 2, complaining, saying that they wouldn't show this series to their children because it has 2 daddies. What was your reaction to that?
Well, I mean, I think it's just sad that religious view, like that a belief can take away love, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's coming across in English, but I think it's really sad that a faith makes you think that the people have less rights than you to fall in love.
Right. And we're seeing a lot of that in the world.
Yeah, and to teach that to a kid.
I also want to say something. Like, I feel like today there is like a lot of ways of living, and there is a lot of ways of having families. And I think like at the
I think we lost Ibai for a second.
Ibai, I think we're losing you.
But we lost you on a very cute shot. So there's that. You look very plain. Oh, there you are.
No, I just was like, I think like now.
I think we're gonna have to see if we can get Ibai to maybe come out of it and come back in. For some reason, we're
now.
Now we can hear you.
Now you can hear me?
Yeah.
I mean, no, like really short. I just want to say that nowadays there are like so many different kind of families. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. No. So yeah. So basically, like we.
No, I agree with you. I was really surprised to see that comment on your show, because I mean, with SideKick Productions, we do primarily LGBT related content, and I've never really seen those comments on our show. I mean, people haven't really written down, "Oh my God, this is a gay show," or "This is disgusting," or "This is so." And our show is really out there sometimes, so I would expect to see that with our show. But your show is so ridiculously wholesome and so sweet and so nice and so happy, and it's just such about a loving pair of men who also have a loving quasi daughter / dog and a new quasi son / dog.
I love
and
that.
there's nothing at all of it that's we need yes, I agree completely with Ellen on this. We need more shows that depict different families. Yes, Ellen, I completely agree with you, because the ones that have done it very safely And I very much appreciate that your show does this and has two daddies for Shaka and Blue. And I just can't imagine anyone watching this and going, "Oh well, this is what I can't show my children."
And Josh and I had a long conversation about this right when the comment hit, because Josh is like, "Oh, I've been expecting someone to say something. I come from a very conservative background, and I just." That being said, I knew that someone would say something. And so whenever I saw it, I thought, okay, look, if you don't want your kid to watch something, that's your job as the parent to put rules of what your kid watches. And that's your job. You also don't need to come in and say, I don't want to show this to my child. You just keep it moving. That's my thing. Like if I had a kid and there was a lot of violence and something, I wouldn't want my kid watching that.
Right.
But I think it is such an interesting thing. And I mean, you can see it's in episode 2. I addressed the situation because I felt like I needed to say something. And there are so many different types of families out there, and we're not the first to have 2 mommies or 2 daddies, and Modern Family's done it, Friends. I mean, so many
done it. Yeah.
shows. And even at the thing of it is, when it comes to religion, people just get so closed-minded by it. And even though there's nothing in the show that has any sort of hint of like sexuality, other than Chaka being like, "I'm so cool," like something like that. That's the only sexuality that's in the entire show. For some reason, there's that belief, and it's really sad, but some people do come around, and I truly and honestly believe that. Having had in my own personal family, I have a nephew, and he has 2 moms, and so I've seen my super conservative parents change their tune pretty quick after realizing this is what life is.
Right.
These people are just normal people.
Sure. Yeah.
I might need to see things from a different lens, and we can put things in front of people, but to try to make them, you should do this, you shouldn't do this, we can't do that. Like, we can't tell people what to do, because the more that we tell them not to do it, the more they're going to want to do it.
Well, I'm going to tell everybody not to go watch Shaka and the Dogs then, and hope that they do watch it. You can go right now to youtube.com/Oblivion TV. Ibai and Jose, thank you so much for joining us on SideKick Power Hour. We hope that you'll come back and see us and talk some more about the show in a few weeks, because we're going to be here, y'all, for a long time, because we've got to get all the way to season 5 of Skeleton Crew, and that won't happen until we get through season 4. And right now, we're just on season 1, episode 2. And so we'll say goodbye to Ibai and Jose, and we will bring on another Skeleton Crew fave, of course, Father Anglicus himself, Stuart Gichak. Hey, buddy. Welcome back.
Hey, everybody.
So we did see that somebody said that the YouTube feed went off. It's back. We don't know what was up with that. It's it's the internet, people. We will work with it and make it happen. Again, let's make sure, if you haven't seen Shaka and the Dogs yet, please go to see that over there, or you can also go to oblivion-films.com.
And it's also approved by my nephews. My 9 and 12-year-old nephew said that it's really, really good. And my mother even watched it. And my mother said, "Well, Ashley, this is real."
Oh, great. I love that. Well, I can't wait to watch more of it. Tonight,
what I'm really excited about is what we're launching into next.
We are launching into Picking Up the Pieces. Episode 102 of season 1 of Skeleton Crew. Stuart, regarding the technical challenges of filming something like this, or filming really anything, specifically in season 1, what issues with camera or lighting did you face in season 1?
Well, because we were just such a ragtag band of misfits coming together to make this show, we kind of used what was available to us. And at the time, what was available to us was a Sony A33, first camera in the line of SLRs. that are SLTs, which are different than traditional cameras. But anyway, there were some limitations, such as filming in the summer, such as your camera overheating, such as not being able to film for more than 10 minutes before needing to have a cool down. And when you're trying to capture performances or get blocking right or make a scene work organically coming together and you finally get it and then, your camera locks up. It's part of the trials and tribulations of the whole process. And it was a bit of a struggle, but we eventually got a much more functional routine going. And, we had our setbacks. But again,
so tell me then about the freezer incident.
Well, there was one. Was that season 2?
No, that was season 1.
That was season 1. Okay. So there was one particular day we were filming in a location, and as you know, when you're filming in a location, for sound purposes, you need to have everything as quiet as possible. So it was a hot August day. We could not have the AC running. There was a lot of people in a very quaint apartment. For the amount of people we had in there, all working, all getting sweaty and trying to, do their thing. And it overheated to the point where it was just taking too long. So I said, you know what? Let's try something a little cray-cray. And I wrapped it up in a Ziploc bag, I think. Maybe I didn't. And I put it in the freezer. I put it in the freezer for what I assumed was just enough cool down time, and unfortunately, some moisture from the freezer managed to trap itself between the glass within the lens. So we had to then, instead of saving time by getting the camera down to a certain point, we found some rice. Luckily, as Paul commented, the location that we were at had rice, and we did the good old drying out rice trick and eventually got there and managed to get the scene. But lessons were learned that day, and you know what not to do moving forward when you have an incident like that.
But for the rest of the shoot, that lens had a grain of rice stuck in it.
For a good chunk. I don't know how it got in there, but it eventually got out.
Well, we're about to get in to episode 2 of season 2 of Skeleton Crew. Speaking of audio, this is long before I was involved in audio mixing, so mind your volume controls because it may jump and up and down. But here we go with live commentary from myself, Joshua R. Pangborn, Ashley Monique Menard, and Stuart Keycheck. Episode 102 of Skeleton Crew. The name of this one, folks, is Picking Up the Pieces.
Hasn't aged a day.
That really bathroom or Ellen?
Oh.
I can't do this.
Oh, okay. I mean, we don't have to.
I always had a vision of what my wedding day was going to be like. I mean, what little girl doesn't? But this isn't it.
You are wearing black.
Imagine that I'd be in 1,000 guests in a beautiful purple dress, a real Paris original.
Did she say 1,000 guests?
Everywhere.
Yeah. How many people does Gina know?
On the back of a gorgeous white stallion.
I know.
And horses.
And the groom, oh my god, the groom. He looks so handsome in his tux and the accent. Oh, the accent. There's something about a man with a Scottish accent. And my mom would be there. And
hey, guy, I'm about to marry you. You're nothing what I wanted. Let's go do this.
My dad would cry too, and I know he'd blame it on the pollen from all the flowers, but I just know I'd be crying because he's so happy for me. Dreams are dumb.
Okay, so let's wait. We don't have to do it today.
I'm pregnant.
Okay, so I did something, and please don't be mad.
What?
I lied to you.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Well, the other day when you asked me who I was on the phone with, I lied to you.
Eddie, why are you telling me this? What difference does it make? We're gonna get married.
I just want you to know that sometimes I lie. I mean, to you and to other people, but I just do it because I love you, and it just makes things
Eddie,
better.
you're
if I
not
just
making
lie.
any sense.
He's so romantic.
Look, the other day when I said I was on the phone with Hunter, I was actually on the phone with your sister.
And they've been listening to the whole thing.
Bojack Horseman, what are you doing here?
I didn't know who else to talk to about making your dream wedding come true.
Oh, he's a bit rotund for a stallion, but he'll do.
I mean,
Jay
I
is
can't
so
tell you
sweaty.
about the Paris dress, and
Is that Jay?
don't have an accent, but
So sweaty.
I have Hunter
Hey,
here
oh, I can
to help
tell.
with the horse part.
What is Mr. Horseman doing here?
This is the sweetest thing that anyone's ever done for me.
You didn't need to raise the bar.
About everything. I love you.
Wait, I forgot one more thing.
I love Ellen so much.
Me too.
On the show.
Okay, all right, Stallion.
Oh God, why did you make him do this?
The lady.
Do you remember when the manager of the
Side
building
saddle.
walked past?
She rides him side saddle out.
Keep everyone waiting.
The manager of the building just happened to walk past while this was happening and said, "What is Mr. Horseman doing here?"
Right? Because that really wouldn't be a good reason anymore.
Yeah,
Oh,
but maybe the baby's just accelerating things. Because I know something like this would have happened eventually. Because you're the
Look at that
sweetest guy
man
in the
bun.
world. You're not the richest or the most handsome, but you're the sweetest.
Sorry to interrupt, and I mean in no way to imply that you're a fact, Gina. But can we move this along?
You heard the Zen already. Let's get going.
Hello, viewer. Thank you for tuning into Manacles and Mundanity with Master Marvin, the show for masters and their slaves looking for an opportunity to broaden their lives by connecting to this ancient way of life. If you're watching these episodes in order, then you should have just completed the tutorial on sounding. How did it go? Master, did your slave enjoy the experience of a metal rod sliding up and down their urethra? Slave, did you remember to do as instructed and endure the pain, making your master proud in the process? Good for you.
Mental note, sounding is not something we're going to be experimenting with.
Happy to try it, you know.
Maybe I'm not.
But enough on sounding. On to today's topic.
Is that Paul?
What do you do in tragic
Nick.
stress? Maintaining this relationship is not easy under the
That
best
is Paul.
No, the person doing the YouTube video.
will.
Yeah.
And will try to assert said will. Go on. Ask him.
Oh, that's Paul.
That'll never happen.
That's Nick.
I bet your slave just told you that would never happen. Well, he's wrong. It will. But
Get on with it now. Come on.
So let me start by addressing the big question.
Yeah, that's Paul.
What
He
happens
likes
when
to swing
your
things.
slave's life dies? What do you do then?
This is Stuart's voice.
Asking you one question. What is this relationship all about?
Sex.
Is the wrong answer. A relationship between a master and his slave is based on trust. Trust and a sense of devotion. I know what you're going to say, but I don't know how this all fits in. I mean, how am I, his master, when at this time, all I should be doing is holding him? Listen to me. Something terrible has happened. Maybe someone in their family is sick. Maybe someone died. Your slave needs your discipline. He needs your love, but most important, he needs to know he has something he can depend on now that the rug's been pulled out from under him. You can be master and friend to this man you own. You have to be. He needs you to be. So be it.
It sounds like the Fallout game narration.
Hey, why don't you put on that shirt I bought you and a pair of pants and we'll go out for ice cream?
Whoa.
So you don't find it odd that our husbands are in the other room doing whatever it is they're doing while we're in here?
What's the use? Won't change how much of a degenerate he is.
You're so strong. To be surrounded by all this insanity and still go on?
So able to
That's how I
continue
feel.
Side throughout all of this.
You know I'm talking to Carla, right?
I forgot about the card.
Yeah.
Well, that's a full-on sign.
Be with you in a minute, Mrs. Wolf.
Gina, please call me Gina.
Yeah, I screwed that up earlier.
Hey, it's me. Look, we need to talk, please. I know. God, I know I messed up. I know I messed up real bad. We just can't throw away everything we have together. I know that you love me. You're just angry. Just please don't divorce me.
Too late.
I don't know what I'll do.
I think she's gonna give him another chance.
Okay, bye.
It's true love.
Sorry to have kept
For a long run.
Gina, please call me Gina.
Of course. Mrs. Wolf is soon to become a thing of the past anyway.
That's why I'm here.
Hope you don't mind my eating. I haven't had anything all day. So tell me about this husband of yours. Why is it you're looking to become a lone wolf?
Really, but the most immediate is that he has sex with geriatric women.
That's a new one.
Man, that office.
Oh.
You know, Carla, my brother likes to brag that he's never been inside a woman's vagina.
Barbara looks great in blonde.
Sorry, and so he never actually went through our mother's birth canal. So before you, he was a complete homosexual.
She must have been using a different lotion. Her hands look so different.
So
There is nothing physical between me and Carla, Veronica. Ours is a spiritual love. It transcends traditional definitions of sexuality.
Anthony, you're like getting hammered at 2 in the afternoon.
Season 1, when
Alright,
Anthony was actually a drinker.
This way I can.
or an oncologist, Anthony. Everyone you work with dies. Why her?
Well, does it matter, okay? She and I found each other when we needed each other the most.
So tell me, Carla, what do you think of my brother's penis? I mean,
Whoa.
last time I thought it was nothing to write home about, but then again, that lake was cold.
We were skinny dipping, Carla, okay? No, not Veronica and not my sister. No, our husbands and Gina too. And Eddie was there. But it was a night of stupid drunken debauchery, okay? And Veronica had promised not to look.
Oh, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. My brother, the prude.
So many cargo shorts.
Yeah, it was a different time back then.
I am not a prude.
That is why your husband and my husband, well, no, all of the husbands, I'm confused. But what it is that my husband became your husband's sex slave and not you.
He never tried.
Of course not. You'd never do anything so wild. You see, Carla, somewhere along the line, my brother got it into his head that he was the smartest in the family. So he started living this extremely rigid life, which is such a shame. He never gave into his passionate side, and he's so much better than this cage that he's created for himself.
The world must look so different through your eyes, but we don't all get to follow our passions, okay? Some of us have to be responsible, and that leaves precious little time for fantasies.
That's why Hunter never told you about his passion for sexual fetishes.
I just always assumed if he hadn't, he'd talk to me about them, okay? I certainly never expected this.
Well, he told me years ago.
You're lying.
You seriously had no idea about Hunter's love for gaining and encouraging?
What?
Yes.
I always assumed that's why you were with him and you put up with his baser traits because of his love for rotund men and making them more so. So that finally someone would look at you with lust and then you would stop being so jealous of me.
Colorful as always.
Honestly, Anthony, I'm just looking for a little bit of distraction. Your husband is polishing my husband's knob. You're a bigger baby than Jason these days.
But not bigger than Simon.
Oh.
We're out of spirits.
Spirits.
Oh, Josh.
We're out of spirits.
We're out of spirits. You just go out of spirits.
Oh Lord. Okay, so let's take a second to dissect this for just a second. Stuart, you know, just watching this already from where we are right now, would you do anything different just seeing what we've seen so far?
Yes.
When Josh wrote this question, I was like, I think this is just a yes question.
Yes.
Oh, he could. What would he do differently?
No, it's not. It's and this is a confidence issue. There's always, you know, always a matter of perspective on framing and, you know, capturing a performance in a certain way, using a certain take, you know, adjusting the mood of the setting. No, framing wise, I don't want to nitpick. I think it's actually just up here, most of it, because rewatching it, there's good stuff in that scene. I love the way those two work off of each other. It's great. So, I mean, little things like just changing the mood of the room just with better lighting, maybe framing it, getting more better insert shots of certain things, finding out ways to accentuate the drunk performance a little bit better. That's all.
Sure. Yeah. Now, Josh, aside from your poor color choices in your outfit, what other challenges did you have?
I love his outfit.
I love those pants. I don't know where they are. I would wear those again.
I'll probably hid them.
I think that
Look, few people can pull off orange pants the way Josh can.
Well, if anybody's going to pull off bright colored pants, it is definitely Josh. What about those rainbow pants from season 4?
And 5, we're going to sneak those in there.
They can come back.
When you have rainbow pants that are that good, you use them several times.
Tell us about some other challenges.
This episode was I had not acted really for a long time after college. I was working on my doctorate then, and so I did a lot of directing and writing, but I didn't do any acting. So as we said last week, I tend to dive into things without taking baby steps. I just jump right in the deep end. So I jumped at the deep end of casting myself as one of the 6 leads of Skeleton Crew as my first real as my first acting gig, and I was like, oh. Of course, and not just that. I've only ever really done comedy, so why not write myself something very dramatic that I've never had to do before? So as you're gonna see later in this episode, especially, there's some really intense scenes that I'd never done anything like that before, so they were really, really hard to perform. And Kat is such an incredible actress, and I always worried that I was not ever able to deliver what she was delivering, which was such incredible work. Plus, for this particular scene we just saw, I have never been drunk before, so I do not know what a drunk person acts like when it's me. So, did I?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's an acting challenge. It is. And for somebody that doesn't have a frame of reference.
Speaking of drunk people, though, let's take a moment before we get back into the episode to give a fast forward to everyone's favorite former child star, Emmy.
Sound is speeding. Cameras are rolling. This is day 1, take 1 of.
Why do you have 2 different cameras?
What?
Oh god, this footage is gonna look like shit. Got a crucial audition, and it is imperative that everything go flawlessly. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
What if we said no?
Are you okay?
We have a fabulous guest for you today.
Yeah, you want to talk about Emmy? She's great.
So glad that Emmy's making a comeback.
Oh, I suppose, did she really go anywhere? She's just been sort of bumbling around, hasn't she?
Do you know who I am?
You are a has-been from the 90s, anyhow.
She is brilliant, strong, and she is so humble.
I'm the glue that holds Emmy together. So without me, she's just kind of like a fart in the wind.
Felix, do you sleep with my mom?
No.
Sex in my 60s is the best of my life.
What the are you doing?
You have chlamydia and gonorrhea.
Well, I already know that. What's the good news?
Emmy, you need these eye drops because of your drug problem. Look at how red your eyes are.
Oh my god.
I'm overcome with emotion too!
Wow, that's a nice bra.
I am so proud of you for exploring your sexuality one micro-orgasm at a time.
Can you make me feel good? Please, can you just make me feel good? Please.
Oh my god! How?
Come back later, and we'll do the scene again. Out of my way.
Can't wait.
I can't wait either. Oh my gosh. The Art of Blowing It, starring Ashley Monique Menard, the creator of The Art of Blowing It, writer, I guess, as well. And everybody pretty much from the Skeleton Crew universe plays a little bit of a part in this somehow. And of course, what we also saw was that Jose and Ibai are also involved in The Art of Blowing It as well. So it's one big happy family. How excited are you, Ashley, for The Art of Blowing It?
I'm super stoked. It's gonna be cool. We're coming out with it soon. I remember whenever I went to record some audio for Shaka and the dog, and they were like, so what else are you working on? And I was like, well, I've been thinking about writing this show, maybe like a former child star, and some bad things happen, but I want it to be like a mockumentary, and Josh is going to be in it. And Jose and Ibai said, well, send us the script. We'd love to read it. And I was like, really? That's kind of how that started. And so we made this really fun show. Stuart's had a ball playing amazing
in this show. I cannot wait. I love it. Well, we're going to hear a lot.
He plays Emmy's best friend, and he's super adorable.
We're going to hear a lot more about The Art of Blowing It as it gets close to premiere for that. But for right now, we're going to get right back in to episode 102. And here we go.
That goddamn score.
We had so much more B-roll back then.
Yeah.
Thanks to the ice cream.
If anyone needed to pick me up, it was you two.
Oh, Jesus, Aaron. What was I thinking? Here I am, all mopey and depressed, and you're going through something really terrible.
Let's not talk about it. We're not talking about it.
When I thought I lost my baby before that prick of a husband. Sorry, Hunter.
Eddie could be a prick sometimes.
I was devastated. The only thing that helped was talking to Veronica. She got me out of bed.
Don't mention her. We're not talking about her either.
Probably for the best.
Oh, that melting ice cream.
What are you doing here?
It's like the lawyer's office.
What are you doing at a lawyer's office?
It's not a bright one.
I don't know what I'll do.
I think I've painted enough of a picture for you. Will you help me?
I guess so. I mean, who am I to try to keep a couple together?
There's no keeping us together. There's no us, really.
Aww.
For a long time.
Maybe that's why he did what he did, you know.
Excuse me?
That's the tea.
Let me ask this.
No, really, she's drinking
When
tea.
was the last time the two of you did it?
That's not important.
Yeah, I bet that's
You
what
private
you said to
dick,
him
you.
when he tried to poke you.
Whoa.
Suggesting
Facebook?
that
All I'm saying is
Men don't usually stray unless there's a reason.
How is he practicing law?
Believe that your husband is attracted to granny titties. I mean, to each his own. But maybe if he was getting some of the good stuff from your cherry pie, I bet he wouldn't have sliced 100
Joshua
as a replacement for himself.
My husband tricks me into marrying him.
So you say.
He faked my miscarriage.
You said that too.
My parents disowned me. I lost my trust fund.
That's very unfortunate.
Maybe they
But
deserve
all
each
I'm
other.
hearing is
Rewatching this, realizing.
what did you ever do for him? I mean, surely you didn't hate him at the beginning.
Are you suggesting that the problems in my marriage are my fault?
I just want to make sure that you, and by extent I, know what we're getting ourselves into before a lot of expensive legal processes are set in motion.
My husband is a loser. He's held me back my entire life. Any potential I had, he snuffed out.
We need to reuse that map
Take back my life, and you're going to help me.
for Demon Doctor.
Wolf,
I love it.
I'm sorry, I don't believe you.
Whoa.
Mrs. Wolf.
I'm sorry.
Fucking not.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Mrs. Wolf, I'm a married man. Happily.
To Ashley.
Are you? Are you happy? Were we happy?
What did you think was going to happen?
I forgot that's how you exist on the show.
Try ice cream.
I don't know why I tried to kiss him.
You were miscast then.
Just want to be in control, you know?
What do you mean?
Like, you should have just showed up and been like, hi, I'm part of this. Just did your thing. You didn't need him.
This is the woman who just made out with her divorce lawyer.
He wasn't even that good looking either. He's just another loser. Like Eddie. Like
you?
No, he really sold himself.
We all want to go back.
Wow.
You're happy we got to see what they saw.
Doesn't change.
There was a reverse shot I didn't need.
Future.
Yeah.
Future is wide open.
Lessons were learned filming in public places.
Well,
My only pet peeves
don't
with
want you to
season
divorce my
one, honestly,
I
are
think
reverse
you're
shots.
the best thing that's happened to him.
Overall, it's my
But
only
you have to do
point.
what's right for you. What makes you happy?
I take responsibility.
Thank you.
If Jason's taught me anything, it's how short life can be. You gotta try to be happy with the time that you've got. I know that's what I'm doing. So I'm proud to be Hunter's slave.
I don't think the children would agree.
Those kids are really loud.
I think I know what I have to do. I'm gonna take control of my life. This time, it's when we're
Use a sound cue to establish that she's up to some mischief.
Yeah.
So Josh Woodard, right?
No. This is way before that.
Oh, okay. Is he season 2?
2 and 3, yeah.
That's a that'll be a GoFundMe perk for season 6. That reminds me, folks, if you're watching at home and you want to support,
Hey, Anthony, is that any way to treat your wife?
Knock it off!
I know, let's ask her. Carla, what do you think about the way that Anthony is acting right now? Ooh, she's strangely quiet on the subject.
What are you doing? Why are you letting her do this?
You really believe that this thing is real? Here, take her. She's dead. Anthony. She's dead and gone, and she's up there with Jason or down there or wherever.
Statue bald-headed.
They're dead, but she is gone. And putting her in this dummy is not going to change that.
If she is, whose fault is that?
Oh, enough! I don't care I don't want to have this conversation about this, Anthony.
It doesn't change what you did or rather didn't do.
It was an impossible request. And I think it's ridiculous that you keep going on and on and on about it. Did you ever, for 1 second, think about what you were asking me?
Did you ever think about how selfish that request was? But you didn't, because you
Carla
wanted
looks like a Handmaid's Tale person.
with this doll, and it is no wonder
Very high.
that Hunter did what he did, and you didn't see it right under your nose.
Veronica!
No, you know what? It is no wonder that you did not know anything about Hunter and his sexual secrets.
Veronica!
No, I have to be honest with you, Anthony. You are rivaling Gina in the frigid spouse department. It is
Whoa.
no wonder that your husband went somewhere else for a little bit of warmth.
What of you? Do you think it was an accident that Hunter and Aaron ended up together? I have known about them for over a year now. Maybe I didn't know about all the particulars, but I knew about them. Do you think someone like Hunter could hide something from me? I have had to go through each and every day pretending everything was normal and nothing was. But I knew Hunter had to do it. I knew he needed something that I couldn't give him. I want to. I just don't know how.
Stop talking, Anthony.
Carla became the only person I had to confide to in things. You left me for Jason. You didn't need me anymore, and you left me all alone.
Anthony, you don't live in the real world. People have to go on with their lives, and they can't wait for you to play catch up.
How many bodies have to pile up before you see how your actions affect other people, Veronica? Or are Carla, Grace, and Jason enough for you?
Damn.
Dick.
That was tough.
How could you?
Eddie.
Hey.
Hey.
I love her.
Spoiler, this is the same room as Evan's office, the lawyer's office.
What about?
I don't know.
Spoilers.
Forward.
What do you mean?
I've been meeting with 401's daughter all day.
Oh, well, that's strange. Well, there's no reason for you to bother about that, or me. I'll catch you later.
But Eddie, you know I don't spy on anyone, especially not the boss, but I hear things and I can't help but hear them.
Sure.
Well, I've heard your name today a lot, Eddie.
You have?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hey, Eddie.
I'm just some guy.
Hello,
You have a grandma?
I'm a terrible person, Carla. I don't feel bad. I feel bad for Veronica and Aaron, but I don't feel anything. What's wrong with me? No, Carla. No, not now, not ever. You knew what this was when you started it. I'm not attracted to you that way. Don't be like that, Carla. I love you. What about what we said to Veronica? Remember, we have a spiritual connection. We don't need physical intimacy.
Josh, that's me and you.
Those are not just my words, Carla. We said them to each other.
It's funny to think that you were trying to make a relationship with Carla work now, given the relationship that you have with Carla.
You confused me too.
He did it for a whole season.
I need focus.
I
need these orange pants back.
Great. She looks property though.
Go away.
I had no right to say what I said.
I forgive you.
You don't have to.
Oh, but I do. Makes me the bigger person that way.
You're a jerk this episode.
Yes, it does.
Hunter left his computer on.
He's a jerk a lot.
Hunter left his computer on. I saw his browser.
So is Angie.
I'm glad Anthony grew a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
We don't always know where life will take us, do we?
Maybe not. But it's been pretty shitty these past 2 days.
Weeks, even.
Well, at least there's one thing we can count on. At least we're not Gina.
Cut to Gina.
Mrs. Wolf, what are you doing here?
Can I come in?
Mrs. Wolf, I thought we had agreed that I wasn't going to take your case.
I know, but I think there's some things you didn't consider before.
Very well. Come in. So what is it you think I failed to consider before?
I'm a proud woman, although it's taken me a really long time to remember that. I haven't had much to be proud of the last 14 years.
Mrs. Wolf, that's all well and good, but I don't see how that changes
The seeds are in Apollina's apartment.
Shush!
You and I are going to have sex on your desk.
I am I?
This is the new Gina. Gina who gets what she wants. I want you to be my divorce lawyer. And
Whoa.
then I want to know what it's like to feel a penis inside me that doesn't belong to my husband.
Damn.
Your wife. I don't care about your life. The only thing I care about is getting what I want. The only thing you should care about is getting me the best settlement on my divorce.
I think that can be arranged.
Now, take off your pants.
Be quiet.
Did he just prostitute himself?
Whoa. All right, so let's talk for a second about let's talk about Evan. So this was Evan's he was the first new character in the show that's been introduced, the first supporting character. We know folks who, spoiler alert, he is Apollina's husband. Ashley, what do you think connected the two characters, Apollina and Evan?
Oh, after my extensive research and development that I created for Apollina, she bumped into him at the Dunkin' Donuts, and he offered to pay for her coffee, and she said, "Sure," and set, and then they fell in love. And then they got married.
As you do.
So we talked a little bit during the show about what it was like filming outside. We were talking about some of the reverse shots, etc. But what are the challenges filming outdoors? Stuart and Josh specifically.
Well, Stuart, I think this was our first this episode we just saw. I think those scenes were some of our first outside scenes, right?
That was the first exterior shot I believe we ever had.
And on June 7th, which, as we all know, is my birthday. So,
So for Josh's birthday, we were filming. He got everything he wanted.
So,
what was it like, though? Because that's right by your apartment, right?
Right. Well, some of the things being an independent production company, you can't really lock down locations with production assistants or permits or any of those sort of things. So you kind of got to go at it just willy-nilly, as it were. And some of the challenges are people in the park, audio, people screwing up takes. When you're shooting in the middle of summer and you're trying to make it look like the fall, when you have ice cream that's melting because you needed to get the ice cream to set and you didn't have like a cooler, and then you didn't buy enough ice cream, so you got to hurry up and do the scene, and then you got to act like you're eating the ice cream but don't actually eat the ice cream, and to approximate doing the scene and capturing the scene whilst the ice cream is melting, whilst the lighting is not changing. Several elements at play that you all have to coalesce.
Wow.
So that is why Aaron was eating paper. He was just licking the
Right.
paper at one point.
He was just, that was his workaround for that.
Got it.
That's great. Okay, so one of the things that I love about Skeleton Crew and really about pretty much anything that Josh, that you've been involved in, is you really treat fetishes and sexual and gender identities as perfectly normal. No one questions the details of Hunter and Aaron's relationship, for instance, or any of the other relationships that we see in your shows. How does this compare to the real world, you think, Josh, and to other shows that tackle those topics?
Well, I mean, this is a question that actually it popped up last week in the comments, and we didn't get a chance to talk about it. But it stuck with me, especially after I saw that comment on Chaka and the dogs, because I really think that if any, I never expected that something so wholesome and sweet as a dog show would be the show that caused controversy with people who were saying, I can't show my children this. I thought something like Skeleton Crew would be something where people would comment on that.
Sure.
Because the world of Skeleton Crew, I think, is very much a place where it's an idealized place, where Anglicus and Polly and Anthony and everyone just sort of, they have problems, but the problems are not because of who they are sexually, or who they are, who they identify as, or what they identify as. The problems are problems that are conflated in other ways and everything, like long lost lovers who run cults. But we'll see that in season 4, Stuart. But I think that it's the world of Demon Doctor, the world of Skeleton Crew, the world of Art of Blowing. I mean, these are places that I think that we kind of want to live in. These are worlds where it's no big deal who you are. It's not a problem. So I wanted to take these things off of the table when it came to storylines for the most part. I really wanted to just take away the idea that this is going to be a difficult coming out episode, or this is going to be. I mean, those things come up a little bit because there's still things that happen, but they're not the focus of the story, because that's not the world that we want to live in is the world that these people are living in for the most part.
Yes. And the other thing that you do so well is, because it's a a body positive show, there's never any question that these people would be with these people or whatever based on their size. Sometimes, obviously, Veronica might make some nasty comments or something, but if anything, Veronica is that voice that comes in from, that's the real world voice occasionally, I think. So bravo to you on that. Last thing that we will talk about here again, Stuart and Ashley, what do you take away when you're watching this now and knowing what you know about where the show is, and kind of how far you've come? What does it mean for you to see every week people tuning in with us and reliving this show one by one? Let's start with you, Stuart.
I like this opportunity to get to share in kind of re-seeing and reevaluating the show with a different glasses, as it were, different filter, and just seeing that, from the get-go, it was always first, the forefront of the storytelling was building a family and building a sense that these friends were like family. Like, I think a lot of people sort of on some of the stuff you were touching on about building families outside of traditional families. And I think a lot of the genetics of what works is the camaraderie and the relationships from these people. And it was there from the get-go. And Josh just found a better way to finely tune the voice of kind of distinguishing it and just getting it to be its own thing. And when it really found its footing and everybody was very confident about the characters that they were putting on display, I think it picked up its momentum and it really got going. And, you can look back and say we could have, should have, would have, but I really don't think it's worthwhile, because there's a lot of great stuff at the root of the storytelling in the show that's here right from the get-go, and it's nice to be able to experience that with everybody else.
And Ashley, as you have just completed the first season of a show, were you able to take some of these lessons that you folks learned in shooting these shows to kind of save yourself any of the troubles that you experienced in the early days of Skeleton Crew?
I think the lucky thing is that I was able to work with the two men that you see before you, and they went through their trials and tribulations, and I was very much just a bystander in season one. Just kind of like, oh, what do you guys, what's a script? How do you read it? I don't know. So it was very, I'm just lucky that Stuart learned so much throughout the past 4 years, and 5, to where when we needed him to be behind the camera on the Art of Blowing It, he was like on it, in it, knowing it, collaborating with Ibai and with MJ and with Jose. And Josh learned so much by writing season 1 through 5, and then all the other stuff that he's written. Like, he just gets so much stronger. So he really helps mentor me to get it to where it needed to get to. And then just acting, his acting has just grown so tremendously in the past 5 years, as has mine. I watched season 1 and I'm like, ooh.
So wait, one, does that mean that you never refer to alcohol as spirits in the art of blowing it?
Not yet.
And number 2,
I will from now on.
I think we have a new in-joke, yeah. It's time for spirits.
Number 2, I just want to say for folks watching at home, there was some folks asking how they can support from the UK. I believe you can do that with PayPal right there. We put that banner at the bottom, but you can also, of course, do the SideKick Productions Venmo, and we really want to remind you that we're really trying our best to use this time to revisit the show, but also get you pumped up for season 5. We've got a lot to do, and this weekend I played some of the demos and the rough mixes of the musical episode for members of the cast, and I think everybody's really, really excited. But
pretty effing legit, y'all.
Studio time costs money, just like everything else does. So please, if you can give $5, $10, or $5,000, which is the preferable amount, then please do so at your convenience. And then I saw a comment from Mark Eugene Garcia there. I thought that was really lovely. Put that back up one more time. The show is about a community, a family, on screen and off. I've fallen in love with both, because just as much as I am a cast member, I'm also a fan. And that's true for me as well. And again, thank you so much for tuning in to the SideKick Power Hour. This will be back next week. Next week, we're going to have Alexander Colon, who is going to be joining us. He is part of season 5. We're not going to tell you what yet, but he absolutely will be on the show. And let me just real quick, Josh, if you can tell us real quick before we go about what episode 3 is going to give us a look at.
So episode 3 of Skeleton Crew season 1 opens up the world a lot more. We get to explore a little bit more about all the storylines that we've already touched on. We find out why Anthony is having trouble with Carla, the real Carla, not the dummy that he's fallen in love with platonically. We get to learn more about what Eddie's up to at his job and why Ethel is there. We will talk more about Ethel next week too, because Ethel is a wonderful, wonderful addition to the show.
Awesome.
And we'll also just see some wonderful stuff between Veronica and Aaron too.
Well, let's see some wonderful stuff right now. Let's close out tonight's episode with the trailer for season 5. Let me pull these banners off the screen there. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you back at the SideKick Power Hour next Monday, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, hey. How was the flight?
It was great. Thanks for meeting me at the airport.
Uh-oh.
Sir, you look stressed. Would you like a relaxing massage and blowjob?
Yes.
It's like a house of cards, and if I blow the wrong way, it's all just gonna come crashing down.
I'm worried about me and Anthony, Tom.
What's that for?
We're living together. Well, we love each other, but we're just not a team anymore.
I get it. Adulting is really, 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 really hard.
I've decided I know what I'm going to do with the rest of my life.
So you've heard the story about my killer day.
Heard it. I live for it. I live my life. And I don't think that you can say that about yourself.
I am tired of giving you sage advice only to have you rebuke me.
Last night we played Hide the Rattle, and I still haven't found it.
Oh, this is a gay bar. I'm sad. Spelled C-H-A-D, the H is silent. Why? I mean, hi.
all of you are idiots. Except you. I'll leave you all to figure out who I mean.
Well, I wouldn't lie to him. And I don't see any reason to hide the truth from my friends, family, and loved ones.
I know the owners. Almost arrested most of them at some point. They're a great bunch.
That way of life gets old.
That way of life? Or just you?
I guess it's good that I have such a great sense of self-confidence.
I'm looking for a real bear god. Who changed the light bulb in the sex spot? It's way too bright in there.
Don't you remember the good old days of playing male prostitute in the backyard with your buddies?
It's only prostitute now. Gender's dead.